Would any of you guys be surprised if I told you that what we've been told about this spear bug is being gradually exaggerated? And there's a factor of people that are trying to make it seem worse than it was. Some of them are just people that are just being opportunists, who want to obviously try and use this as some sort of cause to start some sort of civil war. Some people are just drinking the Kool-Aid. Some people are going through and are trying, like governments are trying to use the situation because they want to bring in some authoritarian system. Now, I'm not saying the beer bug is harmless, right? People are dying, yes. But we have a situation where the death toll in America is greatly inflated. We have the World Organization who has not only covered for China, but also even went through and bankrolled the guy, or supported or funded the guy who actually won the position. The little unknown fact that people don't know is that Beijing, the guy that's currently in charge of the World Health Organization, was actually Beijing's pick. And not only was he their pick, but he was also the person that they funded. And he's, since this whole situation, has came out and seemingly gone very soft on Beijing. The guy that was literally picked by Beijing as their front runner has literally came out and said that, and praised China for their response to the virus that they made. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Now, obviously, there's context and everything there, and I'm thinking about doing a full story on that sort of stuff and doing like an actual video on like just what is actually going on with beer bug. But I don't want to talk about it. But there's so much misinformation out there that it's a rabbit hole in itself. But let's get back to the story. So, a second study has found that the WHO has lied and created a global panic. Second extensive study finds that beer bug's mortality rate is 0.4% and not 3.4%, similar to that of the flu. So a study released this week in Germany found a study released this week in German last week found the mortality rate of the beer bug factoring the A study released this week in Germany last week, I don't know how they get that 2 dates, but anyway, found the mortality rate of the beer bug factoring the systematic causes is much lower than being reported. The German study found that around 15% of the population in the Gradel, I might be mispronouncing, had the beer bug. Antibodies were affected at some point without knowing it. Using this data, the researchers concluded that the beer bug's mortality rate was actually 0.37%. A second study in Iceland found that half of those tested had the beer bug, and only 7 in 1,600 known beer bug cases ended in death. So this also means the experts at the World Health Organization were off by a factor of 10. The world leader, I'm going to go try and pronounce that name, stoked fear across the planet when he claimed the beer bug had a 3.4% mortality rate, and then compared that to the annual estimated flu mortality rate of 0.1. It's not clear if he yet understands this mistake. Regardless, it sent the global community into a collective economic meltdown. Now we know, we don't know how the horrible economic damage will be, but we know it will be huge, and we're still nowhere near the total flu deaths we're seeing each year. Now, obviously, at the end of the day, the WHO has a very uncomfortable situation with China. And in fact, a lot of people are actually leaning towards asking, well, why does the WHO have this cozy relationship? The WHO and China, Declaration of Duty. Michael Collins is a research associate for Asian Studies at the Council of Foreign Relations. The World Health Organization, or WHO, was founded in 1948 with the lofty goal of ensuring an amendment of highest possible level of health by all people. In the years since, the organization has been instrumental in controlling or eradicating communicable diseases and investing in healthcare capability across the globe. However, the WHO is now facing rising international criticism over outsized Chinese influence in the organization's response to the outgoing outbreak. The WHO Director General, that doctor name I can't pronounce, has been an outspoken advocate for the Chinese government's response. On January 28th, Tedros met with Chinese President Jinping in Beijing. Following the meeting, Chute commended China for setting a new standard for outbreak control and praised the country's top leadership for its openness to share information. You know, that information they were sharing right as they were locking people up for talking about it, of course. Yeah, but yeah, no big deal. With the WHO and other countries, yet in Wuhan, the epicenter of the outbreak, Chinese officials were busy arresting and punishing civilians for spreading rumors about the disease. So he's literally praising China for being open and honest about this beer bug, about their response in regards to this beer bug, about how their freedom of information has been flowing from the communist state. Meanwhile, in realistic terms, or in real world situation, they were arresting people for spreading rumors, or who were just talking about it. They were arresting scientists, locking them up, threatening them, all this sort of stuff that helps with the freedom of information. But, regardless, like I said, I want to do a full story on this beer bug, WHO, and China. But the coronavirus beer bug for crisis is raising questions over China's relationship with the World Health Organization. Setting aside Chinese Prince's Great Hall of the People, World Health Organization Director General Tedros, I can't pronounce that name, was effusively in his praise of the country's response. We appreciate the seriousness with China is taking this outbreak, especially committed from the top leadership. The ones who are also arresting people for talking about it. So like I said, I want to do a story about this. While China acted quickly following Xi's intervention, placing several major cities on lockdown and pouring resources into battle against the virus, it has maintained tight control over information about the virus. So, yeah. But like I said, this Ethiopian guy who's won, he was China's top pick for the seat. And they actually lobbied to get him in. And they won. And now since then he's been praising them, which has absolutely no correlation between the two, of course. Someone manages you to get the top seat of the World Health Organization, right? Say, for example, me. Say I don't know. Say Ellen from my viewers. Say she lobbies to get me the President of the United States of America in some wacky, weird out situation, right? Say I become the president, and it was all because of her. There's no way I'm going to feel indented or forced to defend Ellen, for example, if there was some virus that she was possibly the responsible for releasing, right? So she released some new virus. There's no way I would feel indented to stick up for her because she got me that job. It's not how things work, right? Sorry to use you for an example, Alan. You're the first one that popped in my head. But yeah, like I say, look, at the end of the day, it's that or it was ferret. And no one could possibly think ferret would ever make a disease. But, love your Fizz. But like I say, look, at the end of the day, yeah, it's, like I say, it's just, there's this coziness between the World Health Organization and Beijing and China and the fact that the WHO is so quick to spread that communist propaganda. It's just, I don't know about you guys, it just really does seem weird and uncomfortable for me, but maybe I'm the only one. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. There's not going to be a third story, guys. I'm way too tired. I'm rumbling. I'm going to go to bed. It is literally like 2 o'clock in the morning here. Almost 3 o'clock actually. But yeah, apart from that, guys, I do have Thursday off, so I will be streaming on Twitch Thursday night. And then after that, after this week, I have 2 more weeks off work. So, so yeah, video should be good then. Apart from that, guys, obviously this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. I go on holidays for my job for 3 weeks. I go on holidays and all hell breaks loose. And the first week back, it is absolutely torture because apparently I'm so important, you know, that just, yeah. But anyway, apart from that, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Enjoy yourselves and stay safe, everybody. Have a great night and enjoy.